Do you sometimes feel anger, sadness, unexplained anger, sadness, feelings of rejection or fear of rejection, and a lot of negative emotions? Just take a moment, think about these questions that I've asked. Think about these feelings that I've just mentioned. Probably you've encountered or you feel that way sometimes, and you can't really put a finger on why you are feeling that way. Do you know it's possible you've experienced childhood trauma and you've brought that into your relationship or your marriage? I'm going to be sharing a story with us, and on social media, even regular magazines, newspapers, TV, the news on television, and things like that. We've heard about stories where a couple, yeah, because this woman got married to a man who already had children or a child, and that child is not her, she didn't give birth to that child. The child is not hers. And we've heard of cases where, upon investigation, they found out that this child was hospitalized or something and ended up passing away. Upon investigation, it was discovered that, the child went through a lot of pain, a lot of unimaginable things, really sad situations. Yeah. There are so many comes to mind, so many I can, mention here and all of that. But I won't be mentioning their names because all you need to do is go and do a research, do some search, and you will find out a lot of children who have passed away as a result of living in a home where they only had one parent. Okay, maybe their father, they only lived with their dad who remarried, or they lived with their mom who remarried. So they had stepdad or stepmom situation going on, right? And unfortunately, those children ended up losing their lives, which is so sad. It's really sad. It's a shame that this keeps happening all over the world. Now, as a relationship and marriage coach, I often tell people, please, when someone comes to you and you know that person already has a child or children, deep down within you, if you know you cannot cope, please do not get into that relationship. Don't get married to someone who already has a child, and because you are attracted to them physically, you only want that person. You don't want what comes with them. But you go ahead anyway because of the benefits you'll be getting from them. Yeah, because of the benefits, you say yes. Or probably you are desperate. You want to be known as a Mrs. as well. You're so desperate, you say yes to them, but deep down, you do not like. You don't even have any feelings. You can't stand their child or children. When it's when the parent is away, you show your true colors to the child. You don't treat them right. But when everyone is around, you pretend. You pretend to like the child. But behind the child, you are doing things. You are so manipulative. You don't treat the child right. And it's so obvious, even as a young child, it's so obvious to the child that as much as you try to pretend, the child knows deep down that there's something wrong here. This is not right. Why am I being treated differently? What is going on here? What have I done? You see? But because they are children, helpless children, they can't speak for themselves. They can't speak for themselves. There's no one to cry to. There's no one to listen to them. Even their parents may be so busy working. And even if they, you know, they even if they got the courage to speak to their parents, the parent may find it difficult to believe because in front of them, this person is so nice to their child. And they're like, wow, I'm glad I married you. Thank you for looking after my child. Thank you for taking care of my child like your own. But deep down, they they know the truth. They are not taking care of that child like their own. There is a big gap, a big difference. It will help everyone because no one knows the future. It will help everyone. If while you're still dating, you discover that that person who has a child, you can't stand their child, don't go into the relationship. Don't even start the relationship. Go get married to someone who has never had a child before, who has never been married before. That's the best type of relationship for you. I'm not here to say, to tell people what to do or not to do, but with life's experience, yeah, I have come to discover that, look, if you can't stand someone with a child, don't go into that relationship. However, if you genuinely and truly know that, yes, you can take care of someone else's child like your child, by all means, go ahead, go into that relationship because you know you have the fear, the true fear of God. You can take care of someone else's child. You can love them from the bottom of your heart. You wish them good, not evil. You know that you will take care of this child, whether their parents is around or not. You will take care of this child like your own. You will not be two-faced. One nice face in front of the parents and in front of other people, but an evil face when there's no one around. No. As long as you know within you that you can look after someone else's child and take care of them, treat them nicely, be good to them, and you can go into that relationship and do all of those good things to that child, by all means, go ahead. You're going to be saving yourself a lot of heartache. You are going to be saving your own children that you will have a lot of heartache. All right. And you're going to be saving that child if they live to survive, if they live through it, you're going to be saving that child a lot of heartache. You're going to be saving generations a lot of heartache. How do I know this? I was that child. It's sad to share this. I was that child who was with her dad. Okay. I'm sharing my story today because I feel like it will save a lot of people. All right. It will save a lot of people. It will save or prevent a lot of heartache. Yeah. I was that child whose mom died when I was about 2 years old, so they say, and lived with her dad. Of course, I was too young to even to remember anything. So all I see are pictures of my mom, but I can't remember the times we spent together. I can't remember anything about her at all, but I have pictures. of how beautiful she was and how she looked so kind, so gentle, you know. I have pictures, so I can just imagine the type of woman she would have been or the type of woman she was, you see. So my dad was left alone with me. Of course, he had to remarry. He remarried. I'm not going to go into details of what I went through, but it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant at all. It's so sad because that experience, the experience I had growing up, even in spite of that, I was still, like that daughter. I still wanted to be like that daughter. I still said mom or mommy, I still did all those things. I was never told, I grew up, my dad brought us all up, but my dad went on to have more children, you see, eight more children, in fact. And he did everything to make sure that we grew up together as one. And that was how it was. We grew up together as one. So it seemed as one. So it seemed. And he never mentioned to me that um, my mom had passed away. I didn't know. I wasn't told. But growing up, no one told me, something in me just said, my mom cannot be treating me this way. Something in me. I can't I can't even explain how I felt, the feeling, because I have children and I know the way I treat my children and all of that. So as a child, something in me kept nudging me that this woman cannot be your mom. But I said mommy. I called her mommy anyway, you know. But I kept having that thing. I don't know why. Probably maybe because of the way I was treated, but I don't know why. But something kept nudging me. I had that thing and I never mentioned it to anyone. I just played, I took my siblings, really close. I didn't allow that affect me in any way. I played with them, treated them really well, nicely and everything. I had the best of intentions for everyone and all of that. I'm not going to, because if I'm to start saying all the things that I went through, most of you will be shocked that, really? Glory, did you actually go through all of that? Maybe one day I will say some of those things, but I just feel like it's time to share my story so that, especially now that I'm in this space of marriage and relationship, because when I read stories of children who, you know, because you're not their mom or you're not their dad, why maltreat them? Why treat them that way? To the extent that some of them have passed away. Why? Don't go into the relationship in the first place. Don't be so desperate to get into a relationship with someone who already has a child or children, and then you do this to the child. I love children so much today. I've always loved children. I love children so much. I can't imagine someone keeping their child in my care and me doing something to that child. I can't even begin to imagine that. I can't, whether you are my child or not. No, I treat every child the same way I would treat my own. When my children, I correct my children in a loving way. I speak to them, you know, I listen to them, we reason together, we talk, okay? That's the way, that's what I know. That's how I like to treat people. I listen. So when a child comes to me, around me, and the child is not my own, I treat them the same way. I listen to them, okay? And I correct lovingly. I can't imagine doing anything to harm a child because the child is not my own. Why? Why would you want to do that? Why? Why do people do that? It's just shocking. It's unimaginable. Anyway, as a result of a lot of things that my stepmom did at that time, a lot of my siblings, upon finding out, well, let me not say upon finding out that, oh, we don't have the same mom. Because later, when I was in university, I think my third year of university, my dad told me when I went home to visit from university one day, he told me, and I wasn't surprised when he told me. In fact, I wasn't shocked. He was expecting me to be surprised and shocked. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked because I already knew without being told. No one told me. I already knew deep down, growing up from that little girl, just growing up, I already knew that mm, 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 mm. This is not my real mom. I already knew. So today, some of my siblings, um, probably because we don't have the same mom, or whatever reason, I don't know, but the relationship is not as it should be. As much as I've tried, it's not as it should be. Sometimes moms, we play a big role, the things we say to our children. If we want unity, yeah, a mom has the power to make sure there's unity. As soon as my dad passed away, everything just went pear-shaped. The relationship that was there before, we had a good relationship growing up. Okay, we had good relationship, my siblings and I, you know, we were all, happy. Well, so it seemed. We had good relationship, good relationship. But everything just changed as soon as my dad passed away. And I realized I saw a lot of things and I'm like, what? What's going on here? Why is this happening? Why is this person doing this? Why is that person doing that? What's going on? A lot of things changed. It's sad. It is sad. All because you don't have the same mom. That shouldn't be the case. No matter what, that shouldn't be the case. Mm-mm. It shouldn't be. People shouldn't try to harm other people. Whether you have um, the same mom or not, or whether they are your child or not, don't try to harm someone else in whatever way. I'm sure some of you will understand when I say harm. Don't try to, if not for the grace of God. The grace of God. So, if you are experiencing, you know, trauma, thank God for grace, His grace, and thank God for healing. That's why I'm in this space today where I am focused on helping people heal from trauma. Okay? It could be childhood trauma, it could be trauma from your relationship, it could be trauma from any type of relationship that you've experienced, sibling relationships, relationship from your marriage. Yeah, I'm focused on healing. Because when you heal, you are able to walk in your God-given purpose. You all have an assignment. You and I, we all have an assignment on earth. Yeah. And those traumas can hold you back, can prevent you from living to the full if they're not addressed. Trauma needs to be addressed. Sometimes you don't know that you have trauma within. Yeah. Unaddressed trauma. I know my siblings will not be happy when they see this video that, oh, why is she talking about all these things? The thing is, God has a reason and a purpose for everything. You see, my story can help a lot of people out there. So many people live for what others will say. I don't live for what others will say. I'm focused on fulfilling my purpose. I'm focused on doing the work that God has called me on earth to do. The reason why I'm on earth today, my purpose, that's what I'm focused on. So I believe we go through things because we can help other people. All those things I went through, I didn't go through them for the sake of it. I went through them for a reason. But maybe there's someone there listening to my message today, and they are currently in that situation. Listening to my message will give them hope. It will give them hope. And please reach out. If you're in that situation, I am really, my heart goes out to children especially, who do not know who to turn to. They don't know who to go to. They are in this home and they're scared, they're afraid. And who will listen to them? Who will listen when I cry out? Who will believe me that I'm going through this? When I share my story, who would listen? It is time to heal from that trauma. There's healing in his wings. There's healing. God has a purpose for your life. There is healing in his wings. Sometimes I hear of girls, young girls who have their monthly cycles, and I remember, I'm going to share this one. I remember as a young girl, little girl, having my monthly cycle, not knowing what it was. And it just goes everywhere. Going to school and it starts, and I have my cardigan around my waist. Going home and saying, I don't know what this is, and being looked at up, down, and then the next thing is she kissed her teeth and walked off. And I'm like, what do I do with this? What is going on here? I don't know what to do. And of course, I didn't go to my dad because I wasn't sure what it was. So I went to the person that I thought could help me, but no help came. So what did I do? From that day, I just looked for any old pieces of cloth around me and used it. Believe that or not. And that was what I did. Old pieces of cloth. I just couldn't understand what this thing was. What is this? And why is it coming out of me without stopping? And that was how. And I'm not sure why I went through that. I'm not sure. I don't even know how to make sense of that. But that was how I was at that young age. I was 10. I was just about to go into secondary school at 10 years old, a boarding school. And then one day, I was sent to boarding school. And then one day in my boarding school, my monthly cycle came and I didn't know what to do. And I took a piece of cloth and put it there. And what I did was, when the cloth was full, I washed it, put it out to dry, and reused it. Can you believe that? Because I didn't know what to do. So one day, a senior saw me and she said, "Don't you have sanitary pads?" I'm like, "What is that? I've never heard about that before." She was like, "Really? How come?" I said, "I don't know. This is what I've always done." She said, "No, no, 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 no. You don't do that. That's unhygienic. You can get infections and all of that." God bless that lady. I wish I don't even know where she is today. I don't know her name. She said, "No, don't use that." And she took me to the bathroom, got toilet roll, and she taught me how to roll it and use it. She said the next day we should go out and get sanitary towels. And that was my first experience of knowing that you could use toilet paper, tissue roll. She taught me how to do it. And I've never forgotten how to roll it the way she taught me since then. I've never forgotten. And that was how I knew that you could use sanitary towels. I'm like, wow, wow. And that's just one thing. And I never forgot that. I never forgot that. Even with all that, I just kept on going. I mean, where else could I have gone? Back home in Nigeria. Where are you going? There's no one to help you, no one to listen. I just kept going, and I don't think I ever told my dad that story. I don't think I ever told him that, about this experience. I'm not even sure, as a man back home, men don't discuss things like that with their children. He never discussed those kind of things with me. The woman was meant to discuss, things like that with the girls and all of that. So the man, all he did was work, brought in money, and my dad was rich. He had money. He was a rich man. He provided for everyone. He made sure we were fine. We lived in a good home. Everything was taken care of. He provided money. But the little things that I needed as a girl, those things were neglected. Maybe he assumed that the things were being taken care of. I don't know. But I never mentioned any of those things to him. I was a very shy little girl anyway, and I was very quiet. Maybe that contributed to it as well. Maybe if I was the outspoken type, I would have told dad that, "Oh, dad, look at, I don't know what this is," or something, but I didn't. I was a very shy, quiet girl at that time because of the things I think I had been through. So I always kept to myself. I never said a word. I just always kept to myself. So today I felt the need to share this story to help someone out there. And If you are a parent with a child, you are a single parent with a child, and you want to bring someone into your lives, you and your child or children, please be careful, be mindful, vet them very well. Don't just take anybody and bring them into your space. They may be pretending, for all you know. They may be pretending just to get you, pretending in front of you, but they may not treat your child, well. They may not take your child as their own. So single parents out there, please be careful, be mindful, because whoever you bring in, whatever they do, may just last for generations. It may impact your child and the siblings you would end up having for that person. Yeah, the children you end up having for that person who will turn out to be the siblings of your child. Sometimes some people, I met a lady while I was at the university. She grew up in a home where her mom had children for another man. Okay, so she grew up with her mom's children, but you needed to have seen them. Oh my, so close. They had different fathers, but they were tight. I've seen it work, okay, very well in some homes. When she told me, I envied her. I was like, wow. She said, you won't even know that we don't have the same dad. I was like, wow. I looked at her and I was like, wow, that is so good. But my case was different. It was being, I mean, it was clear. It was clear. My dad tried to make sure that, you know, there was no difference and all of that. He tried to bring everyone together. It worked while he was alive, but as soon as he passed, everything just changed. Everything changed big time. Anyway, somehow I felt I needed to share this story today. Okay, it's a personal story, I know, and I pray it helps someone. Before you get into a relationship, when you know you already have a child, think carefully. Think carefully. And if you're out there, you've experienced trauma, reach out. Okay, this is what we are here for. Healing is possible. You will be healed so you can go on to fulfill your purpose. I'm sure when my dad named me Glory, he didn't know what he was getting into. My life is to bring glory to God. So what I experience, the things I experience in life, I share them to help people. I'm not someone who is going to leave this world full. No, when the time comes in my old age, in Jesus' name, I'm going to leave this world empty because my life experiences would have helped other people. I'm not someone who is going to say, I'm shy. I don't want people to know. I don't want people to, I'm scared of what people will think. I'm not scared of what people will think. They can think whatever they want. Those people one day will pass away as well. Nobody's here to live forever. Okay? We are not here to live forever. So, if you have a child in your custody, better take care of that child. You never know tomorrow. You just never know tomorrow. Because that child may be in a position where they can help you and help other people around you. If you know you can't take care of someone else's child, don't go into a relationship with someone who has a child already. Look for someone who is single. Get married to a single person. Don't damage other people. Anyway, thanks to everyone who has listened. Share, help other people, spread the word, subscribe to my channel. Let's heal. There is healing in his wings. God is there waiting to heal you, and healing is possible, irrespective of where your wounds may have come from. Okay? Healing is possible for you today. Take care till I come your way again. Have an amazing day. Bye for now, Coach Glory. Stay blessed.